It's rock party. It's the rock party. It's the rock party. It's the rock party. Rock party.
Well, it sounds like a good time to resurrect the profile. So this is what we're going to do. Even if the profile goes nowhere else, I just want to say this because I want to talk to Mr. Rush Limbaugh. Now, I know the odds of him ever hearing this probably pretty slim, but I'm hoping that just somehow, some way, somebody will get the link to him so that he can hear what I got to say because, I've tolerated him for a long time because I have no power to get him off the air, but he keeps going too far. This whole business with Miss Fluke, all I know is, I don't listen to him. And so I missed it the first time, and I've seen the news reports. And what he did, I'm not even involved, and I feel like I want to apologize to Miss Fluke. So if she's watching, I am sorry. Rush Limbaugh does not represent men. What he said was tacky and poor taste, and there's no excuse for it. And I just don't want you to think that all men are evil because of the actions of one little blowhard. Like I said, I'm sorry for what he did, and I'm not even involved. But Rush, really, what is your problem? Now, you don't call a law student who has been called to testify a slut and a prostitute. This is a law student. Now, what's even worse is that, in our society, which is overly litigious, you really want to go around messing with law students. That shows you're not too bright to start with, which we've all know from all the years that you've been spouting these insipid opinions of yours. And you've got to stop. Now, I am not requesting that you pay any kind of financial restitution. I know it's a waste of time. It's going to dip into your OxyContin money or whatever you're blowing it on. I want you off the air for good. I wanted that a long time ago, but you're just getting worse and worse. And now that the news is coming out that not only did you say something wrong, look, people say controversial things because you'll say something, somebody may take it in a way you never intended. You claim that you were trying to make a joke. It's possible. We know you're not that funny, but people say controversial things all the time. That's not a problem. You may mean something well and it comes out wrong. Hard to find out how what you said could possibly be intended to be taken in a good light. But anyway, you say controversial things, no big deal. And to find out that you planned and kept pushing the envelope just to get your name on the news because you didn't want to compete in the news with the Super Tuesday elections, that's tacky. There's no excuse for it. You can't apologize for something and expect people to take you seriously when you purposefully did it. If someone makes a mistake and they apologize and it's from the heart, that's fine. When you start getting a little financial trouble because you took things too far and now the source of your income is backing out and you're forced to apologize, we see through that. It means nothing. Here's the thing about apologies. If you make a mistake, you apologize. For example, I could say right now that, I have never been able to take you seriously since the whole OxyContin thing, which is, the way it came back to me was that, all those years of preaching against drugs and then you get addicted to OxyContin, kind of makes you a hypocrite. Now, that's the way it got back to me. I have no way of knowing if that's true. Now, if none of that is true, then I apologize because, I'll be going under a false impression. That is a sincere apology. If that is not the case, that sort of apology is fine. But if I was to sit here and call you names and then somebody forced me against my will to apologize to you and you could tell it's not sincere, that means nothing. And then to go back and repeat your apology because you lost more advertisers, there's no sincerity in you whatsoever. You need to go away. Now, what I want you to do is to just vanish. It's not like you're broke, unless there is some truth to OxyContin, and you may have gotten into a situation where you need $400 million. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not even going to speculate that. All I'm going to say is, if I'm wrong, then I will apologize. If I'm right, suck it up. But once you're off the air for good, I don't want, and no loopholes, no moving to television, no becoming a political pundit. I mean, you are never allowed to broadcast anything ever again. I will allow you one concession. You can continue writing books or whatever, because that's great. I've never read anything you've written. I never plan to. You're not affecting me in any way. But every time you speak and the media gets a hold of it, it filters through, against my will, and we're exposed to it. You need to go away. I'll let you write your books if you need to make a lot of money to support any habits or whatever. But go away. Considering the fact that all you've really ever accomplished in your career is ruining the good name of a great rock band, Rush, that alone some people will consider a crime punishable by death. So just the fact that I'm not calling for your head on a platter means you're getting off light. Disappear out of the spotlight. You've got enough money, you can live comfortably for the rest of your life. I'm not trying to destroy your way of life. I just want you gone. Now, there's one other thing I would like, because it would be historic first. All this talk about Democrats and Republicans, and I can't stand it. We're all Americans. All this Democrat and Republican crap is just further dividing the American people, as we've seen here lately. Kind of makes it where nobody will work together because they're split down party lines to fix anything. So, y'all want to talk crap about Obama, but, if your Republicans won't work with your Democrats, nothing's going to get fixed. So shut up, The political party system is stupid. We're all Americans. Now, that said, if you seem to be the voice of the Republican Party, what I would really like to do is to see you be the first person in history that I'm aware of to ever be forcibly kicked out of a political party. Yes, I would like to see Republicans just kick you out. You would no longer allowed to be a Republican. Of course, you can't be a Democrat either, because they're not going to take you, because then you can make them look bad. So you're pretty much being independent, which is fine. But it's suitable. If you're such a gung-ho Republican, don't make them look bad. If you're and if you're going to make Republicans look bad, don't talk bad about the Democrats. Just shut up and go away. Here's one thing I really want you to take to heart. If you're smart enough to have successfully navigated the media for so many years, then I'm not telling you anything you don't know. When you're hosting a talk show, whether it be television or radio or whatever media, over periods of time, you tend to become defined by your audience. Now, have you ever met any of your audience? Because I have. I have not met all of your audience. And the ones I have met, I wish I never did. If you're defined by your audience, you really need to change your entire approach, because the few people I know that listen to your show, some of the bigoted, closed-minded, homophobic, racist, sexist, these people, they're what's wrong with America. I mean, they're so closed-minded, they'd rather argue than fix anything. And they're completely delusional. Now, you're going to think I'm making this up. This is a true story. Some of these people are so delusional that they actually honestly believe that the price of gas before President Obama came in office was 79 cents a gallon, and now it's $9 a gallon. Now, A, I'd love to know where they got the gas before 2008, and B, wherever they're getting their gas now, they're really getting screwed. But no, completely out of touch with reality. One person even tried to convince me that the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill was a training school for Al-Qaeda terrorists. This is how delusional and far out of touch your fan base is. I don't take any of them seriously, and I just wish they would shut up, but your fan base, they're like you. They don't shut up. They tell you the stupidest things, and they honestly believe them. This is what you want to be defined by? This is your legacy? And I wonder because if they're getting some of their moronic ideas from listening to you, are you fostering this sort of insane trains of thought? That right prove that reason alone means you need to go away. You could even do studies. I would bet you could take and draw a parallel if you did enough studies between your time in the media coupled with Bill O'Reilly and Nancy Grace and all that. You can see the decline in America. You know, you say we're in a bad situation now compared to what the world was like before you guys got on the air. I'm just saying it could be a parallel. You need to go away. I'd like to see you go away. I'd like to see you stripped of your political affiliations. I'd really like to see you exiled out of the country, but that's a little harsh. You know, we are based on the ideas of free speech, and, you know, you are allowed to be a moron. If you're going to apologize to somebody, mean it. Don't do it because you're forced to. It's not sincere. Like I said, if I have said anything out of line, and you correct me on it, I will gladly apologize, sincerely. But if you want me to apologize for something I'm saying that is not a misconception on my part, if you want me to apologize for saying what I mean, a man doesn't do that. If you say something and you mean it, you don't apologize for it. What drives me crazy the most, you remember Bill Maher had a fantastic show called Politically Incorrect. You know, unlike your show and Bill O'Reilly and Nancy Grace and all these other guys that are just, you know, one-trick ponies, he would actually have to issue and have people argue both sides. Because with every issue that comes about, there are points on both sides. Sort of like this whole birth control thing. I think it's insane that they're even arguing about it, but I've heard both sides. Both people have valid points, and both people are wrong at the same time. So that was what was great about him. Now, when they had discussion about September 11th, you know, that was the one time America was united. Everybody was on the same side. With no one arguing, kind of makes for a boring show. You know, the host's job is to get everybody arguing. So he made one controversial comment, which actually is, if you get over your closed-mindedness, what he said really wasn't that far off base. You know, he actually had a point, but he only said it to get people stirred up so they would argue. That was his job, and they took him off the air, canceled his show for that. Meanwhile, in the meantime, no matter what you do, you still stay on the air, you know, and you say things, who knows what goes on in your mind, and you mean this stuff. You know, he said something just, how did he get taken off the air for one comment, and you're allowed to continue to spout this endless stream of bovine manure that you do? I'd love to see you go. Like I said, I'm not calling for anything other than you going off the air for good. You know, you don't need to be in the public spotlight. You've got enough money. You can live comfortably. I'm not being unreasonable here. Just please shut up and go away. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And for the last couple of decades, you've been a major part of the problem. Miss Fluke, I'm sorry you got dragged into any of this. I wasn't even involved, and I feel like I should apologize to you on behalf of men. Mr. Limbaugh has never proved himself to be a man. He just has a masculine physiology. Nothing what I'd actually call a man. On behalf of all men, I apologize to you.